Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 1 of Twilight Trails. The episode is called Stonegarden, Arizona, October 1869.
Nice.
In parentheses, nice.
Lobby and training, what's that?
If you didn't catch our episode 0, we created characters. I recommend watching it. I thought it was very fun. We talked about some of our inspirations and the setting of the game we're playing, which is using the Call of Cthulhu branded setting, Down Darker Trails, which is Call of Cthulhu in the Old West. Let's get started. So, open up on a kind of a blank journal page, and someone at the top dates October 1919. And as they're writing, you hear narration. I begin, well, at the beginning. Though it is not entirely my story to tell, I am the one left to share it. And that time is coming to an end. I am an old man now, and I put this down before all of the truth is lost to senility. Though, I do believe you will claim it has already taken me, for some of the events that I will relay seem quite preposterous. When I was a younger man, now 50 years ago, I sought my adventure and fortune in the West. And fade, the color of the parchment becomes the desert, and you can see a sprawling town amongst the mountains and the mesas of Arizona. So, the town is Stonegarden, Arizona, which has a bloody reputation, but it is slowly becoming more legit and permanent as families are starting to not outnumber the single men, but they're becoming more and more common. When the town first started about 10 years ago, it was 90% men, and that has fallen to 75 to 60 to 75% men. Still predominantly a mining town, but now there's a schoolhouse, there's a restaurant, there's several saloons and taverns, there's a general store, a church. It's becoming a bona fide town. There's a train station not too far away that's sort of been built in the middle of nowhere, but it services this and a couple other nearby towns. We're going to start in the saloon. The name of the saloon is The King, and typical Western saloon. It's got the saloon doors. The first floor is occupied by men sitting around tables playing cards. A couple folks at the bar. The people in here are not too dirty dressed. There we go. Nice. You'd say these probably aren't the miners of the town. They probably go somewhere else. Panning around, we'll go upstairs, where the saloon girls are, the Soiled Doves. And Miss Delilah Sinclaire is up there, and you can hear in kind of the little, you have like a little, probably faux Asian dressing screen around your little area. You can hear the girl next to you, a girl named Hetty, is just sobbing.
Behind the dressing screen, or
she's
in
like,
the room next door?
She's like in her, it's like it's the, common green room, essentially. And she's behind her dressing screen. Just sobbing away.
Okay. Well, approach, and to respect her privacy screen, just stand on the other side of it and... Hetty doll, are you okay?
She'll loudly snuffle and say, "Doe."
Well, can I come in?
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay, do get decent.
Come in.
Okay.
And she's tried to blot her eyes, but, you know, they're puffy and red, and her makeup is just all streaming down her face. But she's done, like, the best to wipe, like, here and here, so it's just
There's
streaming
this clean
from
spot.
Here. Yeah.
Oh, honey. I'll take a kerchief and start helping her clean up.
Thank you.
Well, what's the matter, hon? Shug. Mad Shug.
Wow, Shug. She'll say, it's just, you know, sometimes no one takes you seriously in this town.
Tell me about it.
She'll say, my sweetheart, Newt, he hasn't come back in, like, 4 days.
Well, do I know Newt before I...
Yeah,
after things I know about?
You've seen them together. He's a nice, kind of plain young man. But you know, you've heard her talk about he found a silver mine vein, kind of a crappy one that him and his buddies found, but it's not notable enough that the main minor corporation in town is going to stake a claim on it. So it's kind of their own thing they've been mining out, and they would come back, you know, every 2 days to drop their silver off and sell some stuff in town, get supplies, and go back out. And she says, yeah, he's been gone for 4 days now, and he would never just leave her. But no one, the mayor, or the, you know, Big Vic won't go look, the sheriff or the marshal won't go look, none of his deputies, they all laughed at me.
Well, you know, I am rather fond of Newt. He always takes off his hat and looks like a scared cat every time he steps around. But he and them friends of his are trying to open up their own vein and on the hush, so it is not impossible that he just can't make it back every time. I'm sure he's thinking of you, Hetty.
You think so?
Of course I do. Have you seen him blush? Well, of course you have. Listen, get yourself cleaned up in case we have company. And don't you worry about it. I'll go put in a couple stern frowns around town to see if I can't find somebody who can go find your Newt, okay?
Okay. She'll kind of put her hands on your hands and just say, "Thank you, Miss Sinclaire. You always do look out for us."
I do my best, Shug.
Back downstairs, Ash, you're sitting at the bar, reading a book, I assume.
Yeah, or studying my maps.
Mm-hmm. And you kind of keep looking around because you're waiting in town for your friend Elvin, and he hasn't been back in a while either. And you know he's one of these buddies who opened up a silver mine, but like Newt, I mean, they're good about coming back, and it's getting to the point where maybe you're getting a little worried about them, but you know, it's not
like a
weird, but it's weird.
Is there like a bartender that I could inquire to?
Sure.
What's his name? Do I know his name, or do I just call him bartender?
No, yeah, his name is Caesar. And he's the owner. He's behind the bar right now. He's the owner of the joint.
I'll hold up my whiskey glass and I'll say, "Caesar, could you come here a moment?"
Yeah, he'll come over, grab a bottle, uncork it, give you a double, and lean onto the bar. Yep.
Now, you see just about everybody that comes in and out of this town. Have you happened to see my friend recently?
Kind of lean back, lean forward again, and say, "Nah, can't say I've seen any of the Owen boys."
Well, that's mighty strange.
Probably.
Been about, I'd say about 4 days.
Probably.
Seems a bit long for miners to be gone.
Maybe a tad.
Well, if you happen to see him, could you please tell him that I'm looking for him?
Yes, sir.
Thank you kindly.
And Henry. You're in the saloon, cleaning up at poker as usual. Whether or not you're cheating is 100% up to you. But you're kind of keeping an eye out because you just heard the bartender say the Owens boys haven't been seen in a while, and Jim Owens owes you some money. Because he lost at poker, and he said, "Oh, hold on, next time I come into town with my silver claim, I'll pay you right up." And that son of a bitch, like a ghost.
And now, for the record, in this poker game, I ain't trying to cheat,
Okay.
but I am trying to win.
Sure. I pick up what you're putting down.
Now, would I know about where their claim was, or would I be able to find that out?
You'd definitely be able to find that out. Someone in town for sure knows. You heard him talk about it, and you would know the general direction it is, but you don't know exactly where it is. You know, kind of like, oh, yeah, no, like when he was betting with you, he'd tell you, oh, yeah, out north or whatever. So you know it's that way, but he didn't tell you exactly where. But someone in town for sure knows.
Would I happen to know?
As someone who lives with them, yes.
Okay.
My follow-up question was, would I have been able to overhear any of Ash's and Caesar's conversation?
Yes, you did. Kind of your back is to them, but you did hear the tail end of that, you know, the Owen boys haven't been seen in a while, and it's probably fine. They're out at their silver claim. But that this person in particular at the bar is worried about him.
So I'm going to go ahead, finish up my game, sidle on up to the bar, ask my new friend Ash here if how badly they're willing to have someone go check on their friend.
Oh, are you talking to me?
I would be talking to you, my friend.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I was caught up in my reading here. And what? Who are you talking about?
Well, I heard that your friend was missing and then I got... Yeah, excuse me, let me reset. Heard that your friend was missing and been out of town for a few days. Now, buddy of mine that I got some business with happens to be an associate of your dear friend, so I figured they ain't coming back to us. What if we try to go to them?
Can I look him up and down and kind of tell that he is maybe not on the up and up?
What is... Why don't you describe your character, Jay?
I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of defining. If you just like think of your average gritty Western citizen, he probably fits pretty much any description you can think.
You can make a psychology check if you'd like, Ash.
How do I do that?
So, roll
You check the bumps on his head, and that should foretell his personality.
It's the most cutting edge of sciences.
Actually, phrenology is most fallen out of fashion by now, but it's still around.
So you roll a d100, and you want to get you want to match or get below your psychology score.
Okay. Which would have been one of my investigator skills.
Yes.
Yeah, it does have its own entry.
Yes. And if you have no points in it, there should be a little number next to it that is your base amount.
Okay.
10%.
So,
10%.
yeah, 10%.
Okay.
All right, so that's a 44. So I.
Okay. See, as Jay described, just looks like a
Just folk.
average citizen of this town. You can
Maybe
probably
a little rougher than most.
yeah,
but
and you can probably tell he's not a miner. That he's rough and tumble still, but he doesn't have the same weathered face that miners have. He has a different kind of
Weathered look. To him.
Everybody has a
Speaks
weathered look out here.
speaks a little too clearly to have the lung.
Mm-hmm.
His calluses are in all the wrong places.
And what business might you have with the Owens? If you don't mind me asking, of course. Mr. What?
Henry.
Your name? Mr. Henry.
Well, one of them may happen to owe me a little bit of money.
You wouldn't be happen to want to look for them to do any harm to them now, would you?
Now, I would not be looking to do them any harm, but one of them might need to pay me. And he might need some convincing. I'd rather not harm him if I wouldn't have to, but...
Well, if for no reason then to make sure that you receive your payment, good sir, then yes, I would enjoy some help, as it were, in locating my friends. I assume that you are not expecting any sort of payment from me.
Oh, goodness, no. You seem to have some sort of investment of your own in these folk. If someone is so upset and I can help someone out, I don't get to do that very often.
Well then, Mr. Henry, I suppose we have an agreement.
I reckon we do.
Sip whiskey.
Cleaner than the water.
So Henry and Sebastian have come to an agreement. Delilah, what would you like to do?
I bustle right on to the top of the stairs, and I say, "Gentle persons of the king, please welcome your queen. I hope everyone's enjoying themselves this afternoon. Please do imbibe. Don't get so deep in your cup so you can't afford the company upstairs. Caesar, a word with you." Just kind of bustle through, smack someone in the ass, take someone's cigarette from their mouth, smoke it, give it back to them. Present all the way through this room.
For some reason, I imagine you walk like Nathan Lane in the Birdcage. It's just a lot of swishing.
A lot of swishing. Truth be told, I don't have much, but out here it's like I'm a prairie 10. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's a city 6. But yes, bustle is how I would describe my movement,
Mhm.
and I bustle right on up to Caesar. Caesar,
Yeah, he'll straighten up.
yes, Hetty's in a right state over her boy. Where's our no good marshal this time of day?
I'd imagine he's in his office.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to go see him. He's apparently already refused her, but you know how she is. She's a simpering little git, and she just kind of caves at the moment anyone tells her no.
He'll kind of lean forward and look around to make sure no deputies are in the establishment, and say, "And you know how the marshal is. Once he sets his mind to not doing something, he's not gonna do it."
Well, did he tell her no, or that no good John Rogers boy, or his other deputies? And I don't care who hears me. Oh, hi, Carl. Good to see you.
He'll say, I don't know, if it was one of the deputies, certainly. As long as it wasn't the marshal, his deputies don't hold much sway over him.
No, but you know, words enter their ears and never their lips.
Oh,
They're too dim.
I know.
Okay, well, if I don't find Newt Owens on the quick, well, you're going to be down one lass, and she's going to drown out the other with all her sobbing.
Oh.
I just need to know if anyone's heard from them.
It is. Well,
You ain't seen them, right?
no. He'll point to the end of the bar and he'll say, "These two fellows were just asking about her." Well, not him. Some of the other Owens boys.
Oh, and I got Newt and Jimmy, and who was the third?
So it's Newt, Jimmy, Elvin,
Elvin.
and they have another buddy who's not an Owens. Hold on.
Okay, but they're
the Owens
those
boys.
are your Owens propers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Frank Cooley.
And Frank Cooley. But of course, that boy's never been up to any good any day of his life. Oh, these fine gentlemen at the end of this bar?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the fine gentleman at the other bar across the way.
As you were, Caesar. Why, hello, gentlemen. I
Ma'am,
understand you're looking for some Owens.
Indeed, we are.
What business is it of yours?
Well, you see, ma'am, Mr. Elvin Owens, he's a good friend of mine. I'm actually staying with him and his dear family.
Oh. Elvin, sweet boy. Not too bright, but nice enough. And you, I don't recognize you.
Henry.
Henry. Well, nice to meet you, Henry.
Pleasure, ma'am.
What brings you looking for the Owens?
Jimmy may owe me a bit of a debt.
Oh, boy. Lord save that man from cards. Well, yeah, that checks out. Well, I imagine you both know because they won't shut up about it, which might be the nature of the problem, that they have found themselves some silver.
Yep. I imagine they've probably gotten themselves into some sort of trouble with that.
Yeah, because they won't shut up about it. Yeah, this is a silver town owned by silver merchants and silver miners who kind of think it's all theirs. Goodness. I do not want to come back here to tell Hetty about a corpse. I'm just going to tell him he joined like a circus or a traveling fair or something.
Oh, yeah, that won't break her heart either.
He's going to a farm upstate. I understand he's plenty happy, Andrew.
It's got lots of room to run around.
Plenty of space to do all the mining he could ever want.
All kinds of newts to run around with, I guess. Well, I don't know what'll come of it, but well, I was going to go off and see the marshal. What? You guys already have a plan in action? Because
Well, this fine gentleman, Mr. Henry, has agreed to accompany me out there to check on those boys.
yes, let's see.
Seeing as, the marshal doesn't.
It's a loud talker, and the walls are pretty thin. I just know it's north from here. Y'all know any better than that?
Where would I know where it is?
You would know where it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, if you're staying with them, you might even have a line on a map or something.
Yeah, if you've shared your maps with Elvin, he would have pointed out where it was to you, and it is, north and west of the city town.
Okay, so I'll pull out kind of a map of the area then and kind of point to them where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Elvin told me it was up around in this area.
Dude, ain't that convenient? I was just gonna start going north from town and figuring it out from there.
Yeah. How far away does that look, Shug? And by Shug, I do mean you, Andrew.
The Royal Shug.
The Royal Shug. By that, I mean the Royal Shug.
It looks like it's 3-4 miles. Take you a couple hours, or literally a couple, about 2 hours.
And what time abouts is it?
Yeah, it's about lunchtime.
Okay, it's about high noon.
Yeah,
Was what you were supposed to answer.
Sorry.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I'm currently in indoor clothes. Let me go change a bit. If I can be back by evening, that would, of course, be best. But I'm invested, and I have a feeling this is the way the adventure leads us. So let me take off 6 or 7 layers, and I'll be back.
Fetch my gun.
Yeah. There's all kinds of coyotes and stuff out there. So yes, do as I say. I'm probably not even all gussied up yet, so it's just a matter of this layer, that layer, untress this, crank this.
Unbustle.
Opens up like a Gundam that I have to
Yeah.
from the back.
You can breathe again.
Yeah. And actually probably able to full slip out of this bar, not too noticed, as I'm just in like trousers and a shirt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just look like
and a hat
cowhand, essentially. Yeah,
of some ridiculous size. And I'm gonna need some hilarious name for it, but right now we'll just call it the Persuader. Grab the Persuader on my way out.
Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to grab before they meet Delilah out front of the king?
I have one worldly possession. It lives on my hip.
Excellent.
2 worldly possessions, but they live on the same hip.
Sure.
I imagine that I would pack up my maps and probably fold them inside of a book or something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I could have a nice little leather satchel that I carry them in.
Okay.
Just kind of sling that over my shoulder and...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, Henry has a pistol. Delilah, you have a rifle, right? We decided rifle.
I've written both down, but I only have the one. I actually think I might go with a shotgun just because it seems a little more... It's point and forget, kind of thing.
Go full Annie Oakley with this.
And, yeah, because I really wanted to do, like, the sharpshootery thing, because I'm actually pretty good with it. But I think pulling out a shotgun tends to have the Persuader part, the name.
Well, yeah, because a rifle especially, it's like, well, I can persuade you, but I'm over here.
Yeah. If y'all could back up about 70 yards, that'd be great.
Yeah, whereas click, click,
Yeah.
put in 2 slugs and click it.
Yeah, get your damn hands off her. Because I don't have to be accurate from this range.
Well, but because I was just listening to a thing about Annie Oakley. She was a sharpshooter with a shotgun. So, like, she was doing, like, all these kind of, trick shots with a shotgun, so you can.
Yeah.
So, revolver, shotgun.
Shotgun. We'll go with shotgun.
Sebastian, we talked about you have a wrench and a gun, right? That's what you got? Okay.
Yep. On brand.
Big ass wrench, gun probably tucked into some pocket or holster.
The wrench is bigger than the gun.
Oh,
though.
for
We
sure.
Just have to
For sure.
For sure. Okay.
And meanwhile, we are already immediately away from strengths, which are, used library.
Maybe the mine has a library.
Some fundamentals of the law.
I mean, Silver Ore has to read too, right?
Yeah.
And psychophysics is en route right now. Phrenology, wow, that's nonsense. Psychophysics, that's the way of the future.
As you guys step out of the saloon, you can hear from... Excellent. From right next door, you can hear a fracas. And, you just hear, "You son of a bitch!" And someone gets shoved from the front door out into the street, and the guy who gets shoved pulls a gun and starts shooting into the store. And everyone on the street scatters.
Into the store?
Into the store.
Do I reckon... First off, what store?
It's the Landon Company store.
Okay, and are they worth their business, or are they likely to buy the dirt under your fingernails and sell it back to you?
Oh, that one.
Okay.
They're
the company store?
They're the company store. So, yeah, they're owned by Big Vic. You can give up portions of your paycheck, essentially, to get generic, pretty shitty supplies.
Yeah.
But shoots a couple shots into the store. The guy who clearly shoved him has pushed open the doors and gets shot in the shoulder once, and kind of pulls his gun, and was shot in his shooting arm, so he's kind of all over the place. Everyone else on the street has scattered, and you can see the marshal and his deputies are running down the street.
Okay. How common an occurrence is this? Like, how...
Very.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, Tuesday.
Yeah.
I am still gonna duck back inside.
Of course. Delilah and Ash, you guys have been here probably longer than Henry. You know that most of the graves in the cemetery, they're filled by violence, not mine accidents.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna have mine be one of them.
Do I recognize either of the young men doing the shooting?
Sure. It's the young man on the ground is Jack, and the guy who was just shot, he's a little older. His name is Bert.
All right. Jacques and Bert here. Now, do both of them work for the Landons?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm as content as not to just let the sheriff sort this out. I'm an armed lady, which is illegal in some territories still. So I'm just gonna back off and kind of not try to be in the way of anyone with iron on their hip.
Okay.
But not so inconspicuous that I can't overhear the whole darn thing.
Sure. And Marshal Norton and his deputies show up, and they break up the fight, and Norton starts questioning them, and they both claim the other one started it, kind of thing. And Norton says, "Now, this is the second fight I had to break up between you two in a month. I don't want to have to come in down here again. A night in the cell will cool you off. And he starts pushing them down the street to the jail.
Does he have boys to take care of some of the pushing and the shoving?
Yeah, he's got his deputies to do that.
Can I get the marshal's attention?
Sure.
Oh, Marshal. And I'm dressed pretty plainly, and some would say boyishly. I do still have a fan and a big
sure
fuck you hat.
He's kind of tucking his shirt back in as he's walking behind the boys, and he kind of stops and his head kind of rolls back, and he slowly turns on his heel and says, "Ma'am."
Yes, Miss Delilah Sinclaire.
Of course, Miss Sinclaire.
Of course. Marshal, I'm doing a powerful concern over the Owens boys. Now, my understanding is that one of my associates, Hetty, has been by to see you. Did she actually see you?
She did.
And you just told her a straight no?
I said the boy's not even been missing a week. Him and his buddies are playing minors out there. They're fine. They're probably just staying out there for the night. Found a good vein. It's fine. They're fine.
With the rate and the volume that their mouths have been moving,
and he'll say, if somebody jumps their claim, that's their problem, not mine. Didn't happen in town.
Well, I'm sure that will be awfully easy for you to explain to Hetty on how her potentially future husband, if he ever does get this damn mind going. Well, I'm terrible disappointed, Marshall, and it looks like I'm going to have to go do your job.
He'll kind of laugh to himself and he'll say, yeah, maybe Big Vic will make you Marshal next week then. Yeah.
Oh, no thank you. Understood, Marshall. Understood.
And kind of finish tucking in his shirt. He'll look at Henry and Ash and say, fellas, and then turn around and start yelling after his deputies. No, rough him up more. No.
Leaning against a wall, hat low. There's no face here. There's nothing for you to recognize. This isn't going to be important.
I do like watching that man leave. All right, well, do we have horses?
Yeah. Let's say everyone has a horse or a donkey. Up to you.
Okay.
Free horse. Sorry, horse, you are going to...
Caesar probably has, like, an Aaron's horse or something. Send runners, those kinds of things.
This is the company horse. We painted the name of the saloon on the side of it.
That's good advertising.
Just the king in white fence paint.
You named your horse Theakin? What you thinking about?
Son of a bitch. You idiot, you put Theakin. You're supposed to kick the leg. It's
Well, at least Caesar has aspirations. All right, well, yeah, then I guess let's giddy.
okay.
Now, I don't think I'm all that fantastic at horses, but I should be the bare minimum competent that they grant you.
Yeah, and that's more than enough to point it in the direction you got to go. Now, if something spooks it, you might get thrown, but
yeah, right. There we go. Okay. Going at a pace. It's just fairly obvious, fairly early that Miss Delilah Sinclaire comes from the east.
Now, you did say you were wearing pants. Are you riding side saddle or regular saddle?
I'm a liberal woman. I'm riding regular saddle.
Okay. I'm sure that's what it's called.
That's goofy foot. I think they call it.
Yeah, I was like, I almost said full saddle, and I was like, well, that's not right. Regular. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, full saddle. We'll call it for now.
We gotta go full saddle on this thing.
Yes, but it would be probably some small scandal that she'd do so, but that's part of why she's dressed in the trousers in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'll take point then, since I know where I'm going and where to navigate us.
Okay. So, as you guys are riding, you see, as you guys are riding, you see a figure in the distance stumbling toward town.
Sorry, I just saw the headline: "Riding aside versus riding astride." What's stumbling towards town?
A silhouetted figure in the distance.
And what flavor of stumble are we talking here? Are we talking drunk stumble, dehydrated stumble, losing blood stumble?
Scared stumble.
You'd say dehydrated stumble.
Well, let's ride up to that. I mean, it's coming the way we're going.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Easy enough.
So as you get a little closer, you can see it's a terribly sunburned man, with long, scraggly white hair and beard. He's wearing a tattered white shirt, just drenched in sweat, dungarees. He's got a cutlass at his waist, and he's wearing a metal breastplate and a conquistador helmet. And as you approach, he kind of stops and puts his hand on his sword, and he says, "Ich bin Kapitan Rudolf Zimmer, Diener Ihrer Magikan König Ferdinand von Spanien." Anybody speak German?
Nope.
Just enough to sound impressive. I understand that he thinks he works for King Ferdinand.
Yep. And he continues to ramble on. Something about maybe you claim this land.
Okay.
And then you definitely hear him say God.
God.
Yeah, and he says Spain a couple times.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Calm down, bit of.
Do you speak English?
He'll kind of quizzically look at you.
He's a German conquistador?
Yes. Who believes he works for the King and Queen of Spain.
Yes, he does. And boy, I would not be wearing that metal hat in this desert heat.
No, he has baked his brains.
Yeah. That'll do it. How close are we? I know that we got... Oh, how close are we to Dr. Muncie's? Is there just a regular... like a barber or a bloodletter, someone who's more good at outpatient care, or is it's Dr. Muncie's or no?
It's pretty much Dr. Muncie's or no.
Okay.
And Dr. Muncie he is not just a surgeon, he is a actual doctor.
Yeah.
He's a terrible, grumpy old man, but...
All right. Now, if I'm looking at my Stonegarden of Arizona map,
mm-hmm.
and we were headed north, did we not quite get to out of town, or are we close to the first church? Like, whereabouts?
Let's see. I said you guys are headed northeast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like the church kind of is at the last T intersection out of town, it looks like.
Yeah, you guys are past that.
Okay. Well, shoot. I don't necessarily want to escort this gentleman all the way back. We're losing daylight, and I do intend to make some money later, but I also feel awful bad about leaving this confused German gentleman just kind of out here. Kommen Sie ear, bitte? Would you like to? Well, my accent's no good, but
yeah, he'll say, "Fräulein, food, water."
You bet. I'll get you some Wasser double quick. Let's go. That one's easy, and in fact, we can probably. Presuming that he's a man of Christendom, since he's dressed in the armor of Christendom's conquerors and genocidal maniacs, maybe we can just leave him off at the church and not lose a lot of daylight here. So, let's, yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, the horse takes that for yeah, and like puts on a burst of speed for half a minute as I have to wrestle this stupid, dumb, god damn it, thinking.
Tabasco, no.
So far, he's been pretty stoic. Seeing that makes Henry laugh. It's just like, even at this point, it is clear that he is by and far the most competent writer.
Ash will stifle a laugh.
It's fine. It's all clear up here. God damn you, horse.
Thanks for checking ahead, man.
The conquistador will kind of mime the fact that he has pulled out a spyglass.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of look and spot town. And he says, Wunderbar. And he points, and he starts stumbling toward town.
I'll try and signal to him to hop on my horse.
He'll wave you off.
Yeah. Like, certainly, we're not going out into the desert with no water. But, boy, that's my water, and he's close enough. He's close enough.
If he's not dead yet, won't die before he gets to town.
Yeah. And what
Made it this far, I'm sure he'll be fine.
Tough old man.
I'll offer him some water.
He'll take a little swig and then kind of bow deeply and put his hand on his rusty saber and charge toward the town.
Oh. Without even a Dunkashan.
Wait for gunfire.
But he said Ich bin. Du bist. What was his name again?
Captain Rudolph Zimmer.
Captain Rudolph Zimmer. All right.
And he serves the King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain.
Yeah. Sure.
Just gonna shrug at Henry and follow him, I guess. Trot after him.
Do you want to follow him back to town?
Well, I'm going to take him to the first church.
Okay.
He mentioned God a couple times, and he's a conquistador.
Yeah. There were threatening mentions of God, but sure.
Oh, well, yeah. Listen. Well, and almost certainly Catholic, because in the time of conquistadors, there wasn't a drunk Martin Luther being like, I dare you to nail this to a church. So, yeah, point at the cross. He's going to understand that. Though we don't have a mostly naked man nailed to it on all our signage.
What are you even doing then?
We celebrate the fact that he is Riz Shug, not that he died. Come on. Get with it.
Yeah,
I can do Protestant versus Catholic riffs all night.
I know you
Don't
can.
let me.
Yeah, and he stumbles forward, and you can escort him back to the outskirts of town and the first church.
Yeah, and I'll point to it. Hopefully he does still see it as some form of welcome. Even if he was threatening to smite us in God's name or whatever, then here we go.
Yeah, he threatened to act quickly or God's blade will separate your mortal soul from your physical body.
Okay, no need for all that. Is there it may not be clear on the map. Is there a seminary or not a seminary? What do you call the house what runs next to a church? Anyway, does Pastor Frank live on the premises, or am I likely to find him here during daylight hours?
Yeah, he lives here. Yeah, I'm gonna say he lives here.
Oh, shoot, what is? I'll remember it an hour after we. Not seminary, the little rectory.
Yeah, there's a small building attached to the church that you know he lives in.
Yeah.
Does this church come equipped with a priest hut, or is he living elsewhere?
Priest hut. That's it.
Priest hut.
Priest hut.
Yeah.
We got boat hats and priest huts.
You learn something on this stream every damn time. Yeah, go to the priest hut and get a knock. Suddenly feel slightly self-conscious that I'm wearing trousers.
Yeah.
But you can see my whole leg.
The scandal.
The scandal.
I know what you're properly shaped like. My eyes. Yeah, and Reverend Carter opens the door and kind of his smile drops a little bit when he sees you and he says, "Miss Sinclaire, here for another of our discussions."
Oh, but I do wish, Pastor Francis, but actually I have a very uncommon request, and I am so sorry for you to see me like this, but I found a German conquistador in the desert.
He will. I'm sorry. Has the heat gotten to you?
Appropriate reaction,
my child.
Not as sorry as I am. Yes. Capitan Rudolph.
Was ist das?
Herr der Gott. It's a man of God. I don't know what else to call you.
Yeah, just lean out the. Oh my! Yes, a German conquistador. Indeed.
You will find that I do not lie.
And he starts very loudly speaking in English.
Oh, good.
Sir, are you well?
Oh, I can answer that. Should know.
German or English is a Germanic language. He should understand us.
He'll get some of it. Ja oder nein? It's been Gesundheit.
Food
means good health, I think.
And the conquistador mimes planting a flag, kind of putting his hands on his hips and standing behind it, and then he kind of pushes past the reverend and into his priest hut.
I'll let you two have your tete-a-tete or conft, whatever it be.
I'll have to see if anyone knows German.
Yes, I'm sure. It is 1869. Nice. So, world's getting smaller every day.
Yeah, maybe one of the books in the library can help. Well, We are all children in the eyes of the Lord. Amen.
Amen. No, we don't do that one. Well, all right.
Hey.
Yep. Okay. Finger guns back at you. Do take care of him. I guess I'm worried. He's certainly gotten too much sun in a metal hat. So I'll suggest somebody that I presume is named Otto who might speak German in town. And I was just on my way out, which is why I'm in travel clothes and not my usuals. Well, yes. Good afternoon to you, Pastor.
Good afternoon, Miss Sinclaire.
All right, let's sit still, you stupid horse. Did that get 1 foot and it starts walking, so I have to do a one-legged behind it for like 3 yards.
Wait.
No, wait, Tom, all the way out. Yeah, goddamn. Sorry, Pastor.
So y'all want to take bets? We coming back to a dead conquistador or a dead pastor?
They should be fine. They're both men of God damn it, horse. Okay, I'm up.
Facing the wrong way on the saddle.
It's called Goofy Foot. Look it up. Horse knows where it's going. It's fine.
He needs to see, not make.
That's right.
Okay, so back on the trail. You guys lost about an hour doing that. But
we're probably the more relevant clue, but I don't know how much more we're getting out of my pigeon German.
Yeah, it's awfully specific. And he has a whole big speech, which I translated into German with German Translate. And after I got through that first sentence, I was like, I can't do this.
I have made a huge mistake.
I'm just going to say, no one else speaks German. No one understands the rest of his ramblings.
Well, joke's on you. I read some philosophy and what will pass as early psychology, psychophysics.
Yeah, when's Freud from?
Much later. Well, not
I was going to say not much later. Probably like 20
in the grand scheme of things,
yeah.
But right now, Miss Delilah's academic crush is Soren Kierkegaard, though, and he's an early thinker on these subjects. I think he's not the first to use psychology. He might not even use psychology. Has been used in the world, but it's still a pretty niche thing. I did a lot of reading over the weekend, y'all. I did homework.
Oh, pardon me.
I am a graduate of the Georgia Female College, as we understand.
So, back on the trail of this mine, you guys, head further and deeper, and you approach the mine site about 2 hours later. So, let's see.
So by my reckoning, it's about 4:30.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's October?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm
gonna wish I brought some sleeves soon.
Yeah. I was trying to look up temperatures, and it never gets super cold.
No, but night's gonna get chilly.
Night in the desert will get a little chilly.
Yeah, actually, we have a resident lives near some deserts.
A little very.
Yeah, a little very.
Okay. So you guys approach a little box canyon kind of thing, like a little hole in this canyon, and you can see scattered around a camp.
Okay, and how recently does the camp look used?
There's no fire lit, and the fire doesn't look like it's been lit for a couple days. The bedrolls don't look like they've been used in a bit. They're kind of all dusty.
Oh, but they're all unrolled.
They're all unrolled.
Okay.
Would I, looking around at this stuff, be able to recognize it as the Owens?
Yes. And then a dog attacked.
It's this damn horse.
It's your barking horse.
It's another animal that doesn't make the right noise.
Oh.
We all know horses go wah wah wah.
With aftermarket parts, they do. All right. Well, fail 3 times consecutively to get my horse to whoa before it finally listens to some reason.
It only stops because it found some water to drink.
Yeah.
Watch you trot in a slow circle for like 30 seconds.
It does this. But then get down.
Do we see the entrance to the mine nearby?
Yes. So here's the
and it's an actual. Like they didn't just find some silver in a wall. They found
they've got an actual mine going. So
okay.
You can kind of see there's a little enclosure, some tents, and the mine entrance is down here.
Did we come from one, or is one?
You guys came from one, yeah. You came through a little gap.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't look like they've been through here in a spell.
Well, that's just the thing. They're here, but they ain't been here.
Yeah, use some wood towards the edge, like a fire pit, and dig in an inch or two. Are there any like embers left?
No.
Oof. Oop.
Well, y'all, we taking this for our answer, or do we want to do some more investigating? He's just clear looking at the mine as he asks that.
Well, if they got... Maybe they struck it good down further and decided to camp down there for the night.
That's more than one night.
Yeah.
Is this like sand that we're on? Like, are there any like footsteps that we can see, or is it more like harder ground?
I'm picturing it as mostly rock, but...
Yeah, box canyon like that, the ground would mostly be rocks that had fallen from off the walls above us.
Yeah, looking around, you see lots of various movement signs on the ground and stuff, but yeah, it's nothing conclusive. It's been too long, and it's the wind and the sun have kind of destroyed a lot of evidence.
I roll Cthulhu Mythos.
Mm-hmm.
What was that give me?
What'd you get?
Well, I have a 0% chance of success, so...
you don't have like a 1%? I thought you started with like 1%.
No, you start with 0.
Okay, well...
I mean, we are neophytes here.
Yeah, you could get a 1, and I think that's a critical success still.
The most young I've seen out of a goat is 4.
Oh, not 1,000?
No. That's a prodigious goat. By any metric.
Yeah, so anything else you want to poke around here, or?
Well, I am afraid that, I mean, they're in that hole in the wall there. Now, did it look mostly naturally occurring, or have they had to carve the whole thing out and prop it themselves?
Let's see. It looks like... Nope. It looks like if you kind of step closer to the mine, for the mine door, there you can see there are shattered remnants of a mine door. There was a wooden door that looks like it was burst open. And
Outward or inward?
Outward.
Okay.
And then you can see looking down, there are some like wooden joints supporting the mine, but it does look mostly natural. That they just added stuff to make it more safe.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any lanterns or any such sort, or are we gonna have to torch?
Yeah, that or are we cobbling some torches?
There are some unlit lanterns.
I'll grab one of those, I guess, and say, well...
Do a little bit of poking inside, see if they maybe had themselves a collapse.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'd rather have an answer than none.
As you guys are poking around the entrance, you can hear from the entrance to the little canyon. That you Owen boys? We're terribly worried.
Do I recognize this voice at all, or?
No?
Is it a sir or a ma'am?
It is a sir.
Okay. No, sir. We are looking for him.
Oh, my goodness. And, 3 individuals will enter the canyon and approach you. One is a big, bearded, gruff-looking man, carrying a shotgun. Another one's tall and lanky with long blonde hair and kind of, a drooping mustache. And another one is tall and pot-bellied with a snaggle-toothed grin.
Okay. I would like to make some show of kind of like patting down and kind of brushing down my horse with a shotgun hanging from its side, not too far away, but out of sight of them for preference.
Mm-hmm.
And check to see that there are 2 able-bodied young men near me on my side, too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Henry, as you're squinting at them, you recognize 2 of them are bank robbers.
Fanning intensifies.
Okay. And what's my past relationship with this pair of bank robbers?
You never ran any jobs with them, but you've definitely noticed their wanted posters in similar locations to maybe some of yours. And they have $50 bounties on their heads.
Oh. A small prize.
And what's mine at? Just for,
Yours is also at 50.
Okay.
Now it's not a competition.
Both armed robbers.
Good near on evening to you, gentlemen. Yeah, we ourselves were powerful worried about the Owens boys. I'm here after young Newt myself. What brings you to this small canyon?
They'll say, we came here to look for the Owens boys. Right good friends of theirs. Until my poor brother, Trapper, was taken by something. It was damn near terrifying, let me tell you what.
Well, forever in our hearts, Trapper. And how is it? I don't recognize these boys from around town at all, right?
No,
like,
no.
they're not.
And I
They're
don't
not
recognize
Stonegarden
them
folk.
either.
No. They're out of towners.
Okay.
How was it? You knew the Owens?
Childhood friends.
Are the Owens imports? Have I known them for a while? Would I be able to cut that lie at all?
Because
or maybe it's not a lie. I
it's
don't mean.
Yeah, but because the town is so new, it's only 10 years old.
Yeah, no one's from Stonegarden, right?
Yeah, the only people from it are less than 10. So the Owens aren't from Stonegarden. So there's a very little chance you'd be able to fact check this.
Yeah.
Without an Owen boy in front of you.
Yeah. Well, we were starting to worry that they got in some trouble. They're pretty good at checking in regular back at Stonegarden. Kind of raised my eyebrows at the mention. And then, so we just came out here poking around. It's not too far out of our way, at least not yet, till the nighttime comes. Can I make a psychophysics roll on these young gentlemen?
Sure.
I have not a less than 0 chance.
I mean, unless one of them pulls a gun, I'm pretty useless, so...
I rolled a 61. My psychology is 80.
Okay. Okay. So
I understand the human temperament.
Yeah. So you got a normal success. Okay. So they are for sure unnerved by something. And it's a little hard to read their motives beyond that. But they did say the guy talking.
And he's the bearded, gruff one? Or?
Yeah, he did say his brother was...
Yeah, Trapper forever in our hearts.
Yeah, his brother was killed by something dreadful.
Okay. So... They opened up with... Or the speaker opened up with the fact that they were worried. So they don't seem to come here with the same intentions as, say, our Hank. They're not here looking to collect... They might be looking for more numbers or something, or maybe someone else who witnessed the same thing and they're finally regrouping. Some of this is conjecture, but I do have a very good psychology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So I let my hand inch away from the persuader a little bit, enough to be like, well, in fact, move here, especially because it's a number of gentlemen, is probably to... I'm not dressed for the arts of seduction, but I can at least turn on a little bit of charm. I am sorry to hear about your brother. Is he no longer with us?
Kind of. His face will get a little pale. And he'll say, "Poor Trapper. Came in to check on the Owens boys, as was said. Noticed the gate was unlocked. He went down in there, and then when he came out, he was changed. Came right after me. Tried to shoot him bullets. Did nothing. Nothing."
I'm sorry, your brother was involved with the Owens?
Yeah, he joined them perhaps a little later than the original claim. But less hands make fast work.
You're so close.
Nailed it.
Shug. And you knew the Cooley boy?
I knew of him.
All right. And kind of like giving like a reassuring, like kind of arm pet in general, just kind of like, oh, I'm so sorry. As he tells this like ridiculous spook story
Sure.
about, yeah. And he said the gate was unlocked. The gate is full blown off its hinges, so I'm not sure all this checks out. But he seems genuine in his autonomic responses here. So look back at the busted up gate and back at him now. Your brother chased you off, or?
Yeah, wouldn't listen to reason, nor steel, nor lead. And, yeah, he just, freaked us out a bit, so we ran. But perhaps you could help us, maybe.
Do I find them looking over my shoulder at the two gentlemen? Because I might turn around and look at my two gentlemen.
Help you with what, if you don't mind me asking?
He'll say, well, he went back into that mine. We should go get him, I guess.
Well, and poor Trapper's the only one you saw for sure. No sign on any Owens. I mean, at this point, I'm expecting full on to just find 5 corpses down there, but
yeah, he'll say, well,
Well, either 5 corpses or a pile of rubble, whichever comes first.
Yeah. He'll say, we've only seen Trapper.
Well, it seems we're here a common purpose and not much daylight left. So, if you're fixing to poke around in that mine, I guess now's the time as any. You got any lanterns on you, boys?
Yeah, they'll kind of, one of them will walk back to they have a donkey, and we'll pull a couple lanterns off the donkey.
Now, when is it you last saw poor Trapper?
He'll say 2 days ago.
Oh. And 2 days ago is when we would usually expect to see the Owens come back to touch base?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And the 2 that Henry recognized, was there also any indication that maybe they recognized him?
Kind of eyeing them up. They both seem a little slower on the uptake than you are. So if they do, they haven't put together from where yet. And they haven't drawn a gun on you to be like, well, we're taking your bounty. So
What is it? The 2 other bad guys from Rapunzel or Tangled? Kind of picturing lightly modified them right now. Not terribly bright. Okay. Well, I intend to take advantage of my womanly stature to be able to go last, but I am for sure bringing a shotgun. So that's that. And I guess I'm tying up my dumb horse because I don't trust it. 1 country mile. But shoot, I'd almost like to get a fire going now to at least get some charcoals going, but I don't think that's going to take longer than we might have. But kind of in the back of Delilah's mind is an hourglass or whatever else we got. What tells time around here that says we are running out of womanly hours to be out in the fucking desert.
Mm-hmm.
Sun's going down. Sun's getting real.
Yeah. I'm already eyeing up our new pals for extra jackets when one of them doesn't make it.
When they get too lewd.
Yeah. I got 2 barrels of shotgun. I only need 1. And I need that jacket. That's tipping my hand a bit. All right, well. All right, let's get a full round on these boys' names, because so far I only know the deceased one, what thinks it's a ghoul.
So it's Trapper Clegg is the dead one.
Deceased.
Rand Clegg is the big bearded guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Clegg, he might speak German. All right, moving on.
Melvin Boggs is the tall, quiet one with the droopy mustache.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe Barkley is the pot-bellied one. And Melvin and Joe are the 2 you recognize as bank robbers. Henry.
And droopy mustache is blonde?
Yes.
Okay. And Rand is big beardy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Alright, so shall we head out?
Yeah.
Light some lanterns and make a spooky mistake.
Especially considering we are making a spooky mistake. I do apologize, but I must account for nature, so I'll be right back.
Okay. Y'all get Cthulhu'd. So
Dang it.
rocks
dang.
fall. Cthulhu wins.
Cthulhu's fall, everyone dies.
I'm going to attack you with
The rock.
1d6 Cthulhu's. Oh, 6.
Now let's see, roll a 100. See if one of them is in power armor. Oh, 2 of them are in power.
Just Iron Man armor, except for their tentacles sticking out of their mouth plate.
Well, that's unknowable, and I can feel my mind unhinging, but boy, does it sure look neat.
What a mashup. My brain, it's melted.
The crossover nobody saw coming.
Kevin Feige will make it work. Fiddlesticks. I'll just grab another pen. That's okay.
We got Cthulhu while you were away. 2 of them were in power armor.
All right, well, makes sense.
Nice campaign, everybody. It was a lot.
Yeah, I for one welcome our new botanical overlords.
Cthulianic overlords. Okay. So you guys walk up the little ramp, and the tunnel is 6 to 7 feet high, varying in places, and between 5 and 9 feet wide, as I said, with some wooden joists at irregular intervals to support the ceiling. And when you first step in, you can see, about 50 feet ahead of you, there is a crossroads that goes in 3 different directions. You can continue straight, you can go left, or you can go right.
Nice.
Which way looks like it would have been the main mine shaft? I guess the biggest pass.
You'd say that's straight ahead still.
Someone with better tracking than me, see if one of these paths is better trod than the others.
That should be a thing I can do. That would be survival.
Yeah, survival. Survival.
No, track is its own stat.
Track or spot hidden if you have it.
All I've got is navigate.
That is a 5 on spot hidden, which I have a 68.
Nice.
Oh, that might be a better success than even.
Oh yes, that's an extreme success.
Nice.
So kind of poking around, you do see what look like tracks down the main pathway, and as your lantern's swinging, you can see a glint, and you pick up a Colt 45 that if you flick it open, 4 shots have been fired and 2 have not been fired from it.
Now, is this one of y'all's, or did I just find myself a new gun?
The other...
Would I recognize that?
You know that the Owens boys, you know they had Colt 45s, but it's impossible. They also used Spencer rifles. It's impossible to tell if that's one of theirs, but
Okay.
it's possible.
It doesn't say like Owens on the hilt.
No.
No custom work for them.
EO.
And let's see.
Well, I know the Owens boys used something like that, but I don't gonna know if it's one of theirs.
And the last thing you'd notice, Henry, is kind of looking down. This main passageway is definitely natural, and the smaller, thinner ones to the left and right were definitely carved out by the Owens boys.
Boy, I'm looking at my character sheet and finding it lacking. So I will probably be reciting, not to be too cliche, but yea, though I walk through the valley of death, I shall feel no evil. In the back there.
Well, looks like that one they found. Those 2 looks like they may have made. So, one they found or one of the ones they made? What are y'all thinking?
Or we could all split up.
Do more damage that way, but something in the back of my mind is screaming at me, don't split the party.
All I can do is look back at my character sheet. I don't know how to flip a coin about this one. Because I think, and as we learned a couple of weeks ago, I call making these kind of in-character, out-of-character declarations called pulling a Marty. Because I think something they found is likelier to be the source of any dark emanations what come from the void, but there still might be useful intel where they've been, or maybe where they dug deeper is where they dug too deep and what released a Balrog.
What?
I
Yeah.
have to write to a professor friend about it.
DSCS. So yeah, I don't think there are any wrong answers. Did adventurers go left? And we got a left. And that is one of the more man-made?
If you take a couple steps left and hold up your lantern, you can see that this pathway only goes about 25 feet before it dead ends, and you can see the glint of silver all along this little passageway.
Okay, that's one down.
That's answered on that one. Maybe we should go to the right and see if it does much of the same.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Sure. Let's hope it's as short a walk.
So heading down the right path, it is indeed a longer walk. And goes for about 75 feet before it kind of branches off left and right. And you can tell the path down the right's pretty short. And as you bring your lanterns around, you can see that there are 4 bodies laying on the ground. They're obviously dead and have been for several days. Their skin is gray and their clothing is filthy. And yeah, that's what you can see from here.
Well,
Can't recognize who it is.
You would recognize them. You don't recognize one of them, but you recognize Jim, Frank, and Newt.
Oh, Hetty.
shit, y'all. There's our answer.
Now, can I ask the brother, what was his name?
The brother's name is
Rand.
Rand. Yeah, kind of through heaving sobs, he says, "That's Trapper."
And gentle pressure on his shoulder. I would like to bravely move forward. I'm not without a medicine skill. I wouldn't mind trying to see what it is. It's hard to say that they just dropped dead of exposure.
Yeah.
75 feet into a mining tunnel.
Can I have a medicine check?
You may. What do I got anyhow? I think it's 50. And it is. Oh, 22. So that's actually whatever the next better success is.
Okay, excellent. So flipping them over, you can see that they all have gunshot wounds. But
yeah, well, you're getting an inkling as to what done them.
You're pretty sure the gunshot wounds didn't kill them.
Oh.
They look like they were applied post-mortem.
Oh.
In addition, some sort of dark pus or ooze is crusting around the gunshot wounds and is seeping from their eyes, nose, mouth, and ears.
Like actively, or is it dried on there?
Around the gunshots wounds, it's dried. It's actively dripping from the other places.
Oh.
Oh.
And okay, well, I'm.
And
I gasp.
Yeah, can I have a sanity check, please?
Oh. All right, walk me through this one. Am I rolling power? Or is this the intelligence check I don't want to pass?
No, so first you roll... Yeah, you should have a sand score, right?
Okay, yeah, probably. Hold on.
But it might also be power. Let's see.
It's probably calculated somewhere, but I don't see it up on my top.
It's up at the where there's a bunch of like numbers. There's a sanity tracker, but mine hasn't filled anything in. Mine
Oh,
just
it looks like it
start.
says start 40.
Okay,
so I guess I'm at 40.
So yeah, try and roll under 40.
Oh boy. Okay. 39.
Okay. So you don't lose any
Thank
sanity.
you, Shug. He is with us.
Yeah, so you lose no sanity. Sometimes even if you succeed, you lose a little bit, but you don't lose any. This is real gross and weird, but it's not like mind-shattering.
Yeah, I'm still a little caught up on the fact that dead men don't bleed, and there's no blood around the bullet wounds. And no like bruising, which presumes that they would have also been alive, right? You're saying those came post-mortem.
Yes.
I'm just putting a little stank on that. All right, but the dripping bothers me enough to recoil, but I hold on to my senses as I am an educated woman.
Yeah, and as you recoil and your lantern kind of shines light further into the cavern, you can see there is a person standing behind them. And
this was the end. Okay.
Yes, and the voice says, "Friends, don't be afraid."
I'm afraid. High five, Jay.
Welcome. I'm Elvin. Stay. There is silver for all.
Now, see, I just recall that I have me a barber's appointment. I'm sorry, but I've got to go.
Ash, come and get your friend.
Elvin, is that you?
Yes. Sebastian, my friend.
I'm to the back. Excuse me.
What would you like to do, Ash?
Oh my gosh. What happened here?
He says, a mining accident. Stay. There is silver enough for us all.
I'm not concerned with silver. I'm concerned with your brothers being dead in front of you.
He'll kind of look down and say, yes. It is sad.
Has he got like drippy eyes too?
Yeah, if you raise your lantern to look at him, his eyes are totally black orbs leaking this substance. And every time he speaks, it kind of spittles out of his mouth.
Gonna slowly back away.
He will say, where are you going?
Well, then we gotta get out of here. This isn't... There's something wrong with... We gotta go.
He will say, there's nothing wrong. I am awake.
I'm gonna put my hand towards my pistol.
Yeah, we've been hand on hip most of this conversation.
He will say, I wouldn't do that. You will dread the day he awakes upon this gaunt and bizarre land you call home, and you drown in his beautiful black ichor. Stay. There is silver for us all.
He keeps saying that.
Yeah, you seem really concerned about the silver. Alvin, maybe we should take you into town, get a doctor to look at you.
No. We're all fine.
Ash, I don't think he's leaving, and I don't think he's here anymore.
Elvin, what did you do to your brothers, hon?
He'll look down at them and he'll say, nothing. They are fine. And the bodies will start to groan and raise from the ground.
Oh no, see. Yep. Yeah,
I was waiting for that.
Leave.
This is where, I'm fitting to leave. I also had a barber's appointment. You know what? Thank you, Hank.
Gotta get a tooth pulled and a haircut. Gotta go.
Yep. Quick little bloodletting, and all my red biles will be in check, and I'm fine.
Okay. And as the corpses raise from the ground, that's where we'll end for tonight.
Okay, and maybe forever. Well, that sure was fun, Andrew. My favorite part was the worst part. So, good times.
Roll to get out of Dodge.
Yeah.
In the camp, you guys did see a lot of dynamite, so just
That's
an
what I was
FYI.
thinking.
Oh, well, good. Armed with my powerful psychology and used library scores, I should be right at home.
Okay, the manual says to light the stick and throw it.
Okay. Yeah. Pardon me a spell while I look that up.
This side's in Spanish. I don't know if I can figure it out. Outros and plugs. Jay.
Hi, I'm Jay. You can follow me on Twitter at JRShoe if you would like for some reason.
CC.
Hi, I'm CC, aka Soup, aka Soupsica on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me if you like artwork. And yeah.
And
I like artwork. I follow Soup. She makes good artwork.
She does make good artwork.
Do it.
Thank you.
And Marty.
Yes, hi, I'm Marty. We've all had fun this evening. Yes, sex workers helped settle the West. Look it up. I built me a school. And also, I hear some of you jokers don't think that we're alive right now. Well, then how come I have today's newspaper? That's right. That's right. So, hold that.
On that most recent episode we did of whatever show is in rotation last week, it
That's
sure
right.
was a good...
Yeah.
It sure was good, and it was shocking, and I remember that.
Oh, yes, especially when that character did that thing. I'm so proud of that player.
Man, they've had it in them the whole time.
They just had
It
to
was a
believe.
really touching moment.
We're definitely live. I don't know what else. What other evidence? Today's newspaper. I'm Andy Hatton at Andy Hatton on Twitter. This week, as we are definitely doing this live, is an episode of Task Force Unlikely, where shock gasp, the thing that happened in the last episode, which has been recorded and streamed live, was shocking and gasping. Yeah.
I'm still on the edge of my seat from it. I can't wait to see it resolved.
Yeah, you paid for the whole thing. You only need the edge of it. So
Yeah, I felt I overpaid for that seat.
yeah. Have a good night, everybody. And this will be back in a month, so we can figure out what happens with these zomboids.
Oh no.